This week on the GenX Vault, we're going to discuss dumb stuff that we found on the internet.
And another episode of Show and Tell.
And of course, we're going to open the box of mystery.
And then ask very pertinent questions to the Magic 8 Ball.
All right, let's have a good time. Hey guys, and welcome to the third episode of GenX Vault. I am Chris Mitchell.
Rob Cannady.
And we're here. We have a great show for you guys today. Today, we're gonna Rob handed over the reins to me today, and let me pick the topic. So I came up with one that's called "Dumb Stuff Found on the Internet." And the first thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at. Let's see. I'm gonna share some of this with you too.
Okay.
Okay. So,
I know nothing about it.
Okay. I'm gonna do this real quick. Let me actually do this. Don't look at my screen, okay?
I'll try not to.
Rob got fancy schmancy, and he started bringing his pad, and so I said, you know what? I can't be out technology, so I'm going to go ahead and bring my iPad. So, all right, I'm going to give you something, and I want you to read this word, okay?
You told me not to look.
No, I'm going to give it to you in a second. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I want you to read this word the way you read it, okay?
Okay.
All right, ready? All right.
Oh.
Wait.
When am I supposed to look?
Did you see it yet?
Yes.
Okay. How do you read that word?
Boiled peanuts.
Boiled peanuts.
Yes.
Okay, that's how I say that word too.
Yes.
I say boiled peanuts.
We're from the South.
But what do you hear it mostly as?
Boiled.
Do you really? You hear it like boiled?
I say bold.
Let's say it again.
Bold.
Boiled. All right, now see, now you're saying
But
it.
people say boiled.
That's what Ashley says. She
Yeah.
says boiled.
Well, she's from Wisconsin.
She's Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Well, her argument is, and this is right, when she got down here the first time, she heard bald peanuts. Bald or bold. Bold. Like these peanuts are like, I am bold. I am emboldened. So now,
Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that there's the southern way. It's kind of like, let me interject here. The little candies that come in a container, not the Reese's cups, but the what? They come in they're like little M&Ms. What are they called?
I don't eat candy a whole lot.
I
don't eat candy a whole lot. I'm trying to think of
but
what you're talking about.
you go to a movie, you get the box of them, you pour them out like M&Ms, but it's made by Reese's.
Oh, Reese's Pieces.
Say it again.
Yeah. Reese's Pieces.
Okay, Reese's Pieces. All right,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, Rob's saying it right.
Yeah.
Down here, they say Reese's Pieces all the time.
Oh, do they?
Oh,
Yeah.
my God, all
That
the
sounds
time.
about right.
All the time. It's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
I had to correct many a student on that. But anyway, all right. So today, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that one of the dumbest things I've found on the internet is Paula Deen's boiled peanut recipe.
Uh-oh.
Do not, absolutely under any circumstance, make this recipe. Now, I'm going to tell you about it. It was put on her website. Technically, I don't know if it's actually Paula Deen's, but it was put on someone on her website by the name of Betty Polk. Betty Polk from State Farm. I don't know who that is. But anyway, she put it on the Paula Deen website. And let me tell you this. Her recipe is simple enough. It's basically this. It requires 2 to 3 pounds of peanuts, which is what you would expect when you go to make boiled peanuts. The last time I made peanuts, I did 3 pounds. And here's where it gets...
Last time you boiled peanuts, you don't make peanuts.
Okay, that's true. I don't make peanuts. No, I boiled them peanuts. So when I boiled the peanuts, the last time I made it was I did this. I did 3 pounds, and on her 2 to 3 pound recipe, it says a cup and a half of salt. A cup and a half.
No.
I mean, this is a cup is this big. It's the size of this 8 ball, and then a half. So you're literally talking about 1.5 magic 8 balls worth of salt. That will kill you.
Yeah.
That'll kill you. And I made those one time, the last house we lived in, right? I made them because I'm Googling recipes and whatnot, and I was like, how much salt do I put in boiled peanuts? I don't know. So I go to Paula Deen's website. I put the salt in. And it was like the cartoon where the guy gets, the mouth shrivels up. I had to drink water for 8 hours straight for like 2 days.
Like my dad calls it a 2 o'clock salting.
2 o'clock salting?
Yeah, you put so much salt in them, you have to get up at 2 o'clock to drink some
Oh,
water.
that's exactly what it was. Yeah, it was exactly what it was like.
I think your level of salt actually ends up being how long you let them soak.
That's part of it. That's part of it. So here's the other part of that recipe. She says, and then let them stay in the brine until taste. You can't leave that in the brine any longer. Matter of fact, it's already oversalted by the time you did it. So one of the things I'm going to do in part of my vault on the website is I'm going to give you a recipe for boiled peanuts in case you guys are not from the South, you've never had them. I'm going to give you a good Southern recipe, which is it's one that I came across and I found that I really think it's right. And here's the difference: it's 2 tablespoons of salt per pound. Now, if you do the math on that, Paula Deen's is 4 times of salt that amount.
Yep.
It will instantly kill you, which explains probably why she had a stroke.
But here's the thing. My mom, my grandmother, anyone past our generation who's ever boiled peanuts, they don't have a recipe.
No, they don't.
They just do it.
They just do it. That's right.
They look at the peanuts, they look at the size container,
and they just
pour salt and they just know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, when I bought the peanuts, I didn't have a scale. I had no idea how much weight it was.
Yeah.
So I asked Ashley. I said, "Hey, how much do you think this is?" She goes, "Well, I got a 2 pound, a 4 pound, and a 3 pound weight in the workout room." So that's how I figured it out. I was like, "No, it's heavier than the 2 pound. Oh, it's lighter than the 4 pound." So I kind of eyed it too. I didn't really I had a guessing game.
Yep.
But I really do believe I had 3 pounds. So 2 tablespoons of salt per pound, you'll be fine. And then I let it sit in the brine for 1 hour afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. So now here's the proof in the pudding. I'm gonna go grab my boiled peanuts and I'm gonna let Rob taste on to see if he thinks it's right. You can do this?
Yeah. I can eat peanuts. Yeah,
all right,
I eat peanuts.
I'm gonna go grab my boiled peanuts. All right, here we go. All right. Let's see.
All right. Ooh, a container.
I did. I brought a container.
That's enough to make you mad right there.
To have a container of peanuts. Oh, just because the few peanuts?
Yeah.
I know. All right.
In the South, we take boiled peanuts very seriously.
We do take boiled peanuts very, very seriously in the South. And I gotta be honest with you. Why there's so few of these in here, man? I went through them last night like you would not believe, man. I did. I had about 3 Millers, and the peanuts kept getting better.
2 things I've never filled up on: boiled peanuts and all-you-can-eat crab legs.
Well, I could see both of that.
Because what makes me stop with all-you-can-eat crab legs is embarrassment.
the pain.
Yeah, it's just
not the pain,
pile of finally, when people are looking and everyone else has been finished eating 30 minutes, you're just kind of like, it's fine.
It's like that comedian. You'll go home now.
Yeah.
You'll go home now. That's right. All right, let's see. All right, so I did pick you the big ones. Okay, so this looks like you pick some out of there, and you tell me what you think.
Let's see here.
Now, I don't know how you guys, if y'all have ever eaten boiled peanuts, but I crack them with teeth.
Oh, no. That's great stuff. Good.
Right?
Salty, but not too salty.
That's right.
Because the too salty boiled peanut is, you'll keep going out of pride, but it'll get you.
It will get you. It'll get you quicker than you think. And if you've been drinking anything other than water constantly, you want more? See, it's hard to eat these just one. It's hard.
I can't.
I know, that's right. That's why I brought a limited supply. I didn't want us to eat for the entire show. But, So, you can you can talk with them while you eat.
Yeah.
Very rude, but that's okay. We don't care.
No. Good. You did good.
Okay. So you like them?
Yep.
Rob's approval.
Approved.
All right.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Copyright Siskel and Ebert.
That's right. We just kind of bypass that a little bit. So, for my first dumb thing that I found on the internet was Paula Deen's boiled peanut recipe. Do not make it. I'm going to post mine on GenXVault.com. You can steal it. You can tell everybody you made it. Tell your grandma that, nope, you came up with that recipe on your own, because that's what I tell my loved ones every time I steal a recipe.
I kind of think boiled peanuts is just one of those things that, a million people eventually would come up with independently.
Well, and I did read you can put stuff like, obviously, like crab boil and cayenne and stuff like that if you want like more of a Creole style.
I've had those. I do not prefer that. I would just prefer straight boiled water and salt.
Me too. I mean, it's kind of hard to.
Nothing against the Cajun people, but I like Cajun peanuts.
I do like Cajun peanuts, but I do prefer a boiled peanut. I do. All right. So moving right along. All right. The dumb stuff. The second dumb thing.
Attack of the dumb stuff.
Well, this is kind of funny that you said that, because that works as a nice segue into what I'm going to say. The second dumb thing that I found on the internet. Ooh. You didn't read it, right?
I'm over here looking at
All right, good, because I got to hide this from him.
You made this table smaller, so now
I'm going to give Rob a word to read.
Another word to read. All
right, I want you to read this word.
Okay. Oh, Lord. At first glance, if I was reading it to myself in a book, I would say Davenfeld.
Okay. Davenfeld. You know what that means?
I do not.
You know what Davenfeld
You give me
means?
30 seconds, I can tell you what it means.
Oh, no, I'm not going to use. You can Google right there. Okay, so let me say it. Let's say you put a space between the N and the F, and you capitalize the F.
Davenfeld? Like a name?
Is it?
I don't know.
Okay, so
It's not how you spelled it, but...
I know, because I did it to throw you off.
Oh,
I did
consider me thrown. All right.
See, Rob and I one time played Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, and the only reason I won is because I went first. We both only missed one question.
Yeah.
Now, nowadays,
yeah.
I would miss a lot of questions because the EU's got bigger. Okay.
Was this the answer to something?
Davenfeld was a stormtrooper in the original Star Wars EU. Do you know which one he was?
He was he Luxor droids?
Yes, he was. Very good.
Droids?
He was the sand trooper that went, "Look, sir, droids," and held up the little ring from R2's, R2's ocular or 3PO's. I don't know what it was, but it was one of their parts.
Yeah.
And he found the droid piece. So his name was Davenfeld. Now I thought of something interesting about this. In the expanded universe, in the original before Disney took over,
Legends they call it.
Okay, which is what I'm glad you said that, because I thought that was brilliant. The way that Disney said, "Hey, we're going to have two parts of this. We're going to have canon, which is everything that we say happens, and we're going to have legends, which is everything that they say you could have heard about. Maybe this did happen, maybe it didn't," because it gave them a great back door. It gave them a great back door.
Well, basically what they're doing, they're starting to borrow.
Oh, right.
From picking, they're cherry picking.
That's right. Well,
which you need to, because a lot of those old books are not.
That's right.
Some ideas are really good, but most of them are.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
not great.
A lot of hot garbage out there, as they say.
That is true.
So Davenfeld was that guy. Now,
Davenfeld.
As canon goes, he was the one that found Luxor droids. That's him.
Yep.
Okay. But as legends go, and this was the story that we read, he also discovered the AT-AT driver. He discovered that the weaknesses in the AT-AT's legs.
Oh, he was the one that discovered that they had a underbelly weakness.
That's right. The underbelly. He's like, "Hey, you can trip these things up and make them fall."
That was in that anthology, Tales from the Empire, or something like that.
Yeah. And the funny thing about that is the Empire's choice to, after he discovers the weakness, instead of saying, "Hey, we got a weakness here, we need to address this," their choice was, "Hey, let's fire this guy and stick him on the most remote place on the planet so he can't tell anybody."
Veers did it. General Veers did that.
And he went down with Vader's choke?
No, General Veers was... I can't think of the actor's name, but he played Donovan in The Last Crusade.
But what happened?
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, okay.
He was the one, General Veers, prepare your men, and he was the one in the AT-AT when they blew up the thing.
Okay, and he got tripped.
The shield generator will be down in moments, Lord Vader. You may begin your landing.
So the writer...
That's General Veers. Okay. So General Veers was the one who demoted Davenfeld.
And ended up getting tripped up in the AT-AT. Oh, well, there you go. Serendipity. That's right.
But as far as I know, he survived the battle.
Really?
I think so, because I think all the ones they blew up were the
ones in the back.
Were the ones in the back, because his was in the front.
Well,
and they got through.
So this brings me to my second dumb thing on the internet. See, that's not Davenport. That's just okay. That might be dumb, may not be. It's this. I'm going to show you this picture, Rob.
Oh.
All right. So I'm going to show Rob this picture, and I'm going to show this picture for you guys.
Dinner and a show.
Do what?
I said dinner and a show.
Dinner and a show. You got peanuts and everything, man. Isn't that great? All right. This is what I found on the internet. You see that? Read that picture.
Star Wars Darth Vader Collector Supreme Edition adult costume. And it is a photo of a stormtrooper. It's
great. And I'm going to pump that for you right now. That's it. Look at that. That's crazy. Yeah. So, okay, there's a lot of dumb things about this picture.
Yep.
First dumb thing about this picture. Okay. First of all, it's not Darth Vader. No. It's a stormtrooper. The second dumb thing about this picture, and I'm just going to nitpick a little bit here because now you want me to read, is it says that it's injection molded. It says that the costume is injection molded.
Right.
Okay. So you know as well as I do, most of these costumes are vacuum formed. That's how you do it. You take a shape, you do a positive, and you take the ABS plastic or whatever you're going to vacuum form, you heat it up, you put it on a vacuum table, you suck it down. We've had to do that. Actually, we did that with a customer on one of our guitars, wanted a specific top, and he wanted a thin veneer. Mm-hmm. And so he chose to do that, and we vacuum formed the top on it. That's how we did the glue. It was just the one guitar that we've ever done that, but we can do it.
Right.
And so, we did it on our CNC table, so we let the CNC vacuum pull it down. So
Okay.
yes, I can make Stormtrooper armor, and that's going to come up and bite me in the butt later.
Hmm.
But anyway, so that's the second thing that bothered me about this. And, there is a small little picture, as you see here, you can click. And I think that's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, which one am I getting? Am I
Yeah.
getting Darth Vader? Or am I getting...
And for how much are they selling it for?
that thing is... I don't think I had that. Oh, it didn't have a price. It just said see all buying options.
Just send us your credit card.
Yeah, send us a credit card. And don't ask any questions about this.
Just take it.
But, okay, this brings me to another little story. When we first did the Plaid Dot windows.
Yep.
I'm sitting there cleaning the windows, and we moved
Plaid
into
Dot is his music store.
the music shop that we're at. And I'm sitting there cleaning the windows one day, and I had our Stormtrooper costume. I have a Stormtrooper, and her name is Delia, and she's in the window. And I'm cleaning it, and the lawyer next door to me, got to throw you under the bus on this one. He came up and he goes, "I really like you, Darth Vader." And my heart kind of sank a little bit. And I went, "Thanks, man." And I think he had in the future, he had gone and seen this Amazon post. Yeah. Because that was 12 years ago. So, it was like,
probably
he found it. That's exactly what it was.
Lawyers.
That's how it happened. He found that Amazon post. All right. So that is my second dumb thing that I found on the internet. Not to be outdone. Right. All right. Now let's see this. All right, Rob. I got another word for you here.
Oh, goody. More reading.
Yes. Rob's, I like the fact that we're doing a lot of historical and grammar and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. I want you to read this word, Rob.
Okay. Lutenist.
Yes. Lutenist.
Is that right?
That was right.
Okay, good.
You are, I think
Good
you're
for
3
me.
for 3, right?
Hey.
You're 3 for 3.
I'm very articulate.
Right. So,
despite the accent.
You know what that is?
Does that have something to do with flute playing?
Okay, you're close.
Oh, okay.
Take the F off. That's not there anyway.
Is a lute a musical instrument?
Yes.
Is it that little thing that's like there's a bunch of little of them in a row?
No, it's a precursor to the guitar.
Oh, I was out.
So it's a lute. Okay.
Okay.
Like Thomas Morley wrote songs on the lute.
Sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, actually, a famous lutenist. You actually probably know a famous lutenist pretty well.
Oh, like personally?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't know. Well, I know that you at least know of one, but this guy you have heard of. He's probably the world's most famous lutenist, and I'm going to show you.
Are there a lot of them?
Believe it or not, Sting plays the lute.
Oh, okay.
And the guy that Sting plays with.
Do you sell lutes?
Not really. I can order you one if you need a battle solos.
I'm good.
But the guy that Sting plays with is an amazing. He's probably one of the world's best lutenist in the world. So, but at this time, this guy was the most famous lutenist in the world. All right, you say that.
Galileo da Vinci Bonauti de Galileo.
That's pretty close.
Galileo.
I would say Galileo da Vincenzo Bonauti de Galilei. That's how I would say it. But then I'm from the South, and I don't really know.
Yeah.
But if you remove all the rest of those, you get this.
Galileo.
That's
Galileo
right.
played the lute.
See, he was so popular in his lute days that he was kind of like the Cher of. He was the Cher, of the 1600s. That's what Galileo.
That's a weird analogy.
What did make him
Galileo and Cher?
Well, if you think about it, they both went by their first names. Madonna. But I mean, think about all the other composers and famous people at the time. They went by their last names.
Cher's name?
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure. It's got. Oh, you're gonna look that up.
You
while
keep
we're doing
talking.
This. All right, I'll keep talking while I'm doing. All right. So the second. Oh, excuse me, not the second. The third, and this is, and I want you to be aware of this one, Rob.
I thought
this one is the dumbest thing on the internet.
Okay.
All right. This is the dumbest thing on the internet. The dumbest thing that you guys will ever find on the internet. Okay. It's not Galileo, because Galileo's achievements include, and not limited to, he was an astronomer, a physicist, an engineer. He was called the father of observational astronomy, the father of modern physics, the father of modern science.
You said father.
He's the father.
He's the father.
No, you're my father.
He's the father.
And he was also the father of the scientific method. So, and even Einstein even called him that. Does Cher her first name?
Her name is Sherilyn Sarkeesian.
So she went by Cher for short?
Yeah, but in according to this, it is spelled, Sherilyn is spelled C-H-E-R.
There you go. So Cher is her real first name. So not only does she only go by part of her name, it's only part of her first name.
Yep.
Okay. So she's really, well, I mean, if
it's
you
no
do
different
the math,
than Rob and Robert.
If you do the math of how long that thing is, he's really only going by part of it too. So
I'd say
he's cutting that thing.
Can you imagine having to type that in for your...
How would you write it last? When you do first name last, you Galileo / da Vincenzo Bonauti de. I don't think you do the de at the end because that's of Galileo. So, okay. He was also, one of his nicknames, by the way, was the polymaths of Pisa. So he was really, really good in the math.
That's what I would have gone by.
I mean, I'm the polymath of Pisa. So anyway, so Galileo, brilliant guy. All right, so 1564 to 1642. So we're talking 16th, 17th century. Brilliant guy. One of his biggest discoveries was the heliocentrism. Well, he didn't discover heliocentrism. He subscribed to that. That was Kepler's discovery. Kepler discovered that, hey, the world does not revolve, not everything in the universe revolves around the world, but the world revolves around the sun, and everything in our solar system revolves around the sun, right? Are you looking off into nothing? Is that what you're doing?
I'm sending the internet sympathy looks. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. So he understood this. He understood how things work.
Smart guy.
Super smart guy, right?
Yep.
So the thing that really bothers me, and the dumbest thing that bothers me about it. Oh, by the way, his belief in heliocentrism is what got him, sent to his house on house arrest by the church.
Yes.
And of course, that's what caused the Indigo Girl song Galileo. So thank you, Catholic Church, for producing the Indigo Girl song.
I know there was there used to be I don't know how much of Foxtrot you read, but in one of those, the little kid in it, he was like really smart, kind of Big Bang Theory geekish.
Right.
He goes into a multiverse. He goes to an alternate reality. And when he gets there, he meets his former self, his counterpart or something like that. That's irrelevant. But when he gets there, there's like flying cars and all this, and that, and the other. And they say, he said, like, wow, is this the future? It's like, no, it's the same year you came from. He said, we didn't have the Dark Ages here. So science was allowed to progress.
That's right. They just kept on. That's exactly
So
right.
we weren't
exactly. Well, this is what my third thing is. And honestly, Rob and I, we said early on, we didn't want this thing to be political at all. And it's not going to be political, but I will tell you this. The dumbest thing that you're going to read on the internet is the Flat Earth Society. Now, see, I told you that you would agree with this because, my God, people, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
We learned. I remember being in kindergarten or even before kindergarten and realizing and understanding that the world
was round. Yeah.
Not only is the world round, all the other planets are round, which is really interesting because do they believe? When you go to the Facebook page of the Flat Earth Society and you start reading it. It's comical, and a lot of people interject, and they really shoot up the science, the pseudoscience.
Yeah,
they blow holes all in the flat earthers. So the interesting thing that blows my mind about that is that one of my biggest arguments. So wait a minute, our planet is completely flat, but every other celestial body that we observe in the universe is spherical.
Is a circle.
I mean, and if they believe that they're flat, so we're all just facing them all at the exact same angle to get that perfect round sphere, or the perfect round circle, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I mean, we circumnavigated the globe years and years ago.
Yes. We have sent cameras. Up into space that have turned around
and faced us.
That's right. Taken a picture of the ball.
The moon landing is real. We did
the ball of
we
Earth.
have a ball. We have a ball. That's right. So this is the dumbest thing. And when somebody told me about this about 2 or 3 years ago. Evidently, it was a famous rapper that was all involved in this. And I thought, wait a minute, this can't be real. This is not real. People can't honestly believe that in today's time. But they do. And there are people that believe this, and I don't understand why. But I'm gonna propose 3 things.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot their theories just to heck and back. Ready? The first one is, and this one's like I just said. So our planet's flat, everything else is round. Don't think so. Not going to happen. The law of averages is against you on that. The second thing is they have absolutely zero evidence of a flat Earth. So if you really, really believe this, why not just continue to send planes until you run into the wall, the dome wall that you say exists, and you see the ice ring around Antarctica that you think we're all in.
Like the Truman Show.
That's exactly what they think. That's exactly what they think it's like.
Even the Truman Show was a dome.
It's exactly what it's like. Well, they say there's a dome, and they say the firmament up here is a glass dome. I mean, it's the dumbest. They believe that the sun and the stars are in the dome too. By the way, I mean it's dumb as can be. This is the dumbest thing on the internet. Yes. But I'm going to tell you right now, my third and final proof. This is definitive proof that the world is not flat. Cats. If the world was flat, cats would be knocking every dang thing they could off of it all the time. There would be nothing left on this planet.
Where's Australia? Cats knocking
there's a big tiger and lion knocking that thing off. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
So,
that is true.
I mean, when I read that stuff, I get pissed off. I mean, it pisses me off because it just is a sheer lack of like understanding of how things work.
Yeah, well, it's not so much to me. It goes beyond an understanding of how things work to just a blatant refusal to accept.
That's right.
Empirical fact.
Or the fact that, I mean, here's the thing. It's like, we talk about this all the time. There are a lot of things that I don't understand, but I'm really glad that someone does.
Me too.
I mean, really glad that someone does. One of the things that we started doing, it was this. We had a meeting the other day with somebody, and he's having us build some harnesses and parts for an electron microscope.
Yes.
I don't know how those work. We're building some parts for him and things like that. I am really glad that he understands piezoelectronics and can understand how that works. Yep. That we can see things like human hairs blown up 10,000 times and understand that because of that we can see cells. We can see, we understand the properties of atoms as a result of that. Yep. I may not understand how that works, but I don't have to. There are people that do.
Yep.
And I trust that
we need those people.
Yeah, we need those people. They're a lot smarter than them. The camera that we're looking in right now, we don't understand how that works between the two of us, but we're glad that it is magic. It really is magic. It's magic. And we're broadcasting over the air. It's kind of magic. Yeah. So it must be magic. Flat Earth, magic, flat Earth. Yeah. So the dumbest thing ever on the internet are people that believe in a flat Earth.
Yes.
Dumbest thing on the internet. If you're a flat earther and you like them, you've subscribed, go ahead and get on out. Just unsubscribe. Unsubscribe now. Now's your chance. Let's throw that out there.
All right. Chris Mitchell.
That's right. Chris Mitchell, go ahead and send me hate mail if you're a flat earther. Go ahead. I'm ready for it.
I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I'd be shocked too. Yeah, well, the fact is they would have to type in a computer competitor over a network of wires wrapped around a globe and, of course, sending satellite images through the air to come. Yeah, so there's a lot of reasons it's crap. That won't happen. So anyway. Oh, God. But anyway, if you go there, the comments are hilarious. And I did steal one of them, the cat. So it was a comment. I got to give you credit, guy.
Yep.
All right. Now, we're coming up on one of our favorite categories here. This is obviously the new segment that we added last week. And this is Show and Tell.
Oh, brief aside. Did you see the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer?
No, I did not.
Oh, it's good.
When did that get out?
Today.
And you didn't even tell me about it.
I figured you knew.
I didn't know. No, I've been working all day. I've been working on shows and getting this new table that we got. Table. We have a nice new table.
I wouldn't knock on it, but I'll probably get yelled at.
I'm not going to yell at you again. Mm-hmm. I moved the mic up.
Okay.
So, all right. So we have a nice new table. So thanks, Steve. He's one of our guys at the shop, and he fabricated this for us. I gave him some. Well, actually, it's funny, but your son had a small part in this.
Did he really?
And I'll tell you how.
How?
This summer, early this summer, when we were cleaning up the factory. JT was out there and he goes, "Hey, what do you want me to do with that big old long board with all these woods going there?" I was like, "I have no idea what that even is." It was 20 feet long. This thing started out like 20, and I went, "I have no idea what that even is." So I told Steve, I said, "Hey," I walked around the factory and asked everybody, "Does anybody know what this is?" And Steve goes, "Oh yeah, I made it." It's like, "What is it?" And he goes, "Well, I just thought somebody could use it." He still didn't answer me, so I never knew what it was originally. I don't. So I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. Make a table. I like what you've got done with it." He had to run a center beam through it. This piece was not in there originally, so he had to run this through it and make it a table, and he made it, and it looks great. So
it is. Very
thank
nice.
you, Steve.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. All right. So, I've now a side bonus thing, too. I forgot.
Oh,
here's another thing.
More
okay.
little sheets
one more little thing. Okay.
Now,
let's see if you can
say
this.
Do I have to read this too?
Yes, you have to read this one, too. Ready?
Yes.
Dust it off.
All right.
What does that say?
That says Matt Ryan.
All right. Now, Rob is into the football more than I am. Do you know who Matt Ryan is?
There is a Matt Ryan that is quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons.
That's right. Did you know that he was born in 1985?
No.
You know what that actually makes him?
A GenXer?
A millennial Falcon.
Dumb things on the internet.
That's right. We just gave you one.
Yep.
So.
Number 4.
You know you like that. All right. So now we're rolling through our next section.
Yes.
You love that millennial Falcon.
That was great.
I saved it. I wrote that. It's time for Show and Tell, boys and girls. Show and Tell. And I tell you what, for today's section, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and let you go first because you got some awesome over there.
Last week we each took 2 turns, but I'm going to combine my turn into just one turn.
And I'll do the same.
Back in 1981.
What?
The merchandising monster that was Star Wars, which is what made George Lucas financially independent to do whatever he wanted.
He had a few hit B movies too.
Yeah, but it was he got all the merchandising rights.
He did
all by himself.
That's right.
And part of those merchandising rights were things you never saw on camera.
I love that.
As I think Steve Sansweet put it, as they were there,
but
they were just
out
of frame.
That's right, just out of frame.
And these are the Star Wars vintage mini rigs.
These are awesome.
These are cool. The first three I'm going to show you would have been at the Battle of Hoth from Empire Strikes Back. This first one is actually mine as a kid.
It's Relic.
And so is the vintage figure in it. This is the... Oh, my screen shut down. Let me get the name. They have weird names. Or they have abbreviated names. Let me pull it up real quick.
This is camera range.
This is the MLC-3. MLC. Mobile Laser Cannon. Now this one, like I said, I actually owned as a kid. It was bought for me at some point. The vintage figure, Rebels Hoth Soldier, is mine too from when I was a kid. I got many hours of enjoyment out of these too. And as a kid, I wanted more mini rigs, but either through not having them available where I lived, or somebody's refusal to buy them for me that I never got anymore. So when I became an adult and I made my own money, and this happened in the past year or so, on both, depending on who you ask, I was able to acquire, through the magic of eBay, more mini rigs. And the one I really wanted was let me see what this was called here. This is the Empire's mini rig.
Oh.
The vintage figure, the AT-AT driver is mine from when I was a kid, but this is the MTV-7.
Wait, MTV?
MTV-7.
Oh yeah,
multi-terrain vehicle.
I love the spring-loaded.
Yep,
that's what I love.
Goes down like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, honestly, these things would have been awesome to have seen in the movie.
You know, the Rebellion would have stood a better chance if they had this.
Exactly. And I
had this one.
Got the gun up top. This would seem like it would be something for once you were occupying the base.
Yeah, because
you've taken it over. You're exposed, and
exposed.
you don't have much of a gun there.
No.
So you kind of want to have already won the battle. Yeah. Now it did take a lot of internet searching to find one that was still in good shape and had the stickers pretty much still there. So it took me a while to get one that satisfied my pickiness.
And like I said, I did have that one as a kid. So that was the only one out of the ones that you're bringing that I had. So
all right.
This is the MTV generation.
Yeah. Here's another one, cool one I got off of eBay. This is the PDT-8. Again, the vintage figures are mine from when I was a kid, but I recently acquired that one on eBay. This is the this is the Personal Deployment Transport 8.
PDT.
I don't know what happened to the other 7, but this is cool. It's got guns. It's got rotating thrusters, and you don't want to have Dukes of Hazzard it out, so it's got step-down steps.
Okay.
That is just a cool toy.
Now, this, if I had to say so, this kind of looks like, and I realize they probably did make this for Star Wars, because, and Kenner's, their response at the time was, they had things obviously like the AT-AT. They had things like the bigger ships and things like that. The Millennium Falcon that were expensive. So this was a great way to have toys and options that weren't $99 like the AT-AT. Do you say, by the way, how do you say that? Do you say AT-AT or do you say AT-AT?
I say AT-AT.
Me too. I've seen people say AT-AT. I'm like, it's an AT-AT.
Yeah, I call it an AT-AT. Now the little chicken walker.
AT-ST.
It's an AT-ST.
It is an AT-ST.
Yeah.
But when you can say something as cool as AT-AT, you say AT-AT.
Yeah,
You don't go
AT-AT.
Okay.
Yeah, we only have so many syllables we can use in our life, so you don't want to.
AT-AT makes it a little more street cred, I think.
Yeah.
I think so. Makes us cool.
And so these were the 3 that I remember as a kid, and like I said,
I don't remember that one.
I had one of them, and I always wanted the other 2. But now an interesting thing happened, as it often does on the internet. When I was looking for these 3, and as much as I know about Star Wars and collecting and all that, I was surprised to find there were others I had never seen in my life. And one of them caught my eye, and I just had to get it. This one is called the Cap-2 Captivator.
Captivator.
This is not part of it. This is just something to help it stand up.
Tape reel there.
This thing is kind of awesome. This is a bounty hunter, or no? I think that box advertisement had it as Imperial's using it, but it's pretty cool.
I see what you did there. You cheated on me.
In here is my vintage Jango Fett figure from back in the 80s.
Yeah, okay. So for those of you that saw the first episode,
yes,
you saw the first episode. This is how he gets his second toy in here. Yeah. That's what he does.
There's my vintage Jango Fett, and he has acquired this from the Empire. And this is a cool little feature right here. You see, he's got a Saj Ventress trapped.
Yeah.
And when he's ready to release her,
she just falls out.
She just falls out, and then it goes down.
Oh, that's cool.
So there was actually a feature to transport your prisoner and incapacitate them.
An action feature.
An action feature.
Now, what's cool? Now, see, this does look like something that was totally would have been in the movies to me.
Yeah.
Like that one, because like like in Star Wars, they have all the machines that work on the side of the building and stuff like that, and the droids, and it's obviously a little bit reminiscent of a probe droid to some degree.
And they made others because they made one. They made a desert skiff one that was a one-man skiff. They made one that was it basically looked like the head of an ATST.
I remember that. Yeah,
and
I had that one. His wings, the wings fell down. It did. It looked.
And here's a collecting tip for you. This is very hard to stand up because you want to stand it up with these arms going out because it looks cooler. And it actually has suction cup feet, but they don't work.
Right.
So if you want to, so I display this to display it properly. This is the tape roll, the middle part of a tape roll of Scotch tape, and it's perfect for letting it stand up by itself.
And this was I don't know if I remember any commercials for this, but
I never saw it.
Okay, so I tell you what I might do,
and it wasn't in any of the booklets I had either.
Really, this wasn't. Well, one of the things that we might do, we may go ahead and throw some vintage commercials on sometime too. I'm a huge fan of. I love going through the internet and just looking up vintage commercials and Rob and I talked about before you show that because that's awesome.
Yeah.
But Rob and I talk about that one of the things we're gonna do for Christmas is maybe a wish book episode. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
That was a great time.
We spent a lot of time on that.
And a really cool thing, the guy who sold me the little transport,
the PDT-8.
He also had the vintage box.
That is freaking
and I just thought
awesome.
That was just a nice touch. And it's just, like I said, it's just so cool to see the vintage boxes and
there's the
to know that it survived this long, and then to see the way they pose things and all that on there.
There's a guy, if you look up the man who shot Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Is that what you had?
I had that, the INT4, the INT4, whatever. If you look up on the web, I think the web address is the man who shot Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And he's the photographer that did a lot of these with these yellow backgrounds and whatnot.
Okay.
And so the old figures, they actually had to make steps because they couldn't Photoshop them in back then. And if they were to cut them and paste all that, it would have been a lot of work.
Yeah.
So the old figures, what they had to do to get these, if you see the old figures back to back, they had to use the yellow background.
Yeah. And
they had to make step that like a plateaued area, and that's how they took the photos.
Okay.
So look at it sometime, you can see the shadow of the step in between. Okay, so this is freaking awesome. Yeah. And that's in great shape. And you can kind of see the KB Toys sticker that it would have been there or something like that. That's awesome. Toys R Us or something, whatever it was in the day. Yep. Yeah.
But that's cool. Anyway, that's my show and tell for the day. My vintage collection of mini rigs.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Are you ever going to get the other one, the INT7?
Because
it's awesome.
The one I really wanted, and it's not on here, you can look it up at home if you want to, is the one-man skiff. From,
that's for Jabba's,
Because it is hard to find because it had a canopy on it, and it's hard to find one with a canopy. And the people that have one with a canopy, they want a lot of money.
They kind of did that though, didn't they? Kind of do that to answer not having Jabba's sail bars at the time. Kind of.
They probably they found out. Oh, it's easy to make these.
That's right.
And I think and what's really cool about the little one man skiff, and I think I'm right about this. I could be wrong. I think it even had a plank.
I think you're right. No, it did. It did. I've seen it. I actually looked it up a few weeks ago.
I've looked. When I got into these, I was obsessing over them. And so I was doing a lot of research and a lot of looking. And like I said, the people who had a complete desert skiff, one-man skiff, mini rig, they just wanted way too much money. More than I felt comfortable paying. And besides, these were the ones I really wanted. But, every now and then it'll hit me and I'll go look. And eventually, if it's meant to be,
you get it.
One will come my way.
I didn't do the skiff for any of these. I haven't picked these up, but I did. The mistake I made year before last, Jabba sail bars. So
they collecting is never a mistake.
It wasn't a mistake. I guess I didn't think they would fund it. And when Hasbro did the HasLab, and I didn't think they would fund it. And all you got to put on the $500 deposit, so I did.
Yeah.
And thinking they'll never fund this.
Well, and that's the thing with eBay. I know I've done this more than once, and you probably have too, where you bid on something and then you just spend the next 3 days praying that someone outbids you.
I've done that, yeah.
And
I've done that.
But then when they do, you get mad.
I don't get if they outbid me, I don't get mad.
Yeah.
If I want,
because I'm pretty good about if it's something that of setting my limit. It's like here's my max bid.
Yeah,
it goes over. It goes over.
Yeah, well, you got good restraint. You budget really well.
So but if it's something I really, really want, this has only happened a couple times. I will.
Oh,
I will go.
No,
I will go overboard if I have to.
That's right, tooth and nail. That's the collecting blood. That's when you said last week that it's like a drug. That's when you have to. You gotta get it. Gotta get it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because I've had great fun denying people.
They're
from getting. Oh
God!
But that's only happened a couple times, and it's something that I wanted no matter what.
No matter what.
I mean, within reason. It's not. I'm not. Plus, I'm not independently wealthy.
I mean, there's some sickness to that, but that's all right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love how you did the one thing that has like 5 things in it. That's great. So mine doesn't seem quite as bad. So my show and tell this week is actually I'm doing something a little different. I'm doing custom action figures, but I did compare and contrast. The first one I'm going to show you is this one is actually part of our. It's kind of actually part of my company's theme. We have this. We do all of our amps and guitars with this World War II theme, and this action figure's name is Bouncin' Betty. And that's one of the names that I have trademarked. And I'm one of our local sculptors here in town. He's a toy maker, and he's the only guy I know with the USS flag. So this guy is like one of my heroes here. But his name is Ben Bentley, and Ben sculpted this for me. And you see, even did the plaid dot.
Yeah.
I mean, he did our little company logo on there, and I'll have to show you a closer.
If you don't know, the USS flag was at one point probably the biggest toy playset you could buy.
Yeah. It was.
It was a GI Joe aircraft carrier.
And it is the largest. I mean, it was the holy grail of GI Joe.
Probably about the size of the lengthwise the size of this table.
It's a little bit. Wait, is it 4 feet or 7 feet? I think it's 4 feet long.
Yeah,
I think it's 4 feet long.
On the TV show, The Goldbergs.
It might be 7 feet.
On the TV show, The Goldbergs.
Yeah,
they acquired one for a prop that the kid had. Mm-hmm. And then in one episode, it's out there laying out. And the next one, it's like they've destroyed it, took it all apart.
Because
I knew that would gut you if you saw that.
Well, no, this is funny. When we did Bouncin' Betty, I kind of did this for Ashley's got her haircut. It's based on my wife's face, and Ashley always says it is.
Face.
It is. Ashley always says that girl can't stand, and she is 100% right. These legs are nice, but she's kind of
she's standing right there,
kind of hanging on.
She looks like she's had one or two too many.
She looks like she's going to the party.
Yeah,
but the sculptor Ben Bentley did this for me, but he based it on our original artwork that was actually done for us by this guy named Jeff MD, and Jeff MD works for Lucasfilm.
You should post that up.
I'll make sure they see it here. I'll
the Bouncin' Betty artwork.
I'll post up the Bouncin' Betty artwork and this in a larger bit. But it was done by a guy named Jeff MD, and what the history behind this was I was looking for pinup art to use for World War II promotions.
Yep. And
I found this one that I liked that I kept using as a placeholder. Well, I kept looking up pinup girls, and I never could find this artist. So I thought, well, surely he's dead because it's 1942 looking art. As it turns out, I Googled the actual JPEG image that I found right back to the artist's website.
Oh, wow.
And it's a guy named Jeff MD. And his name, as it turns out, he was my age and he worked for Lucasfilm. So he worked for ILM over in Singapore.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool that we have some, a guy that works for ILM and done our Bouncin' Betty. So that's kind of a cool little Star Wars little thing there. So it tied us into yours a little bit.
Oh, yeah, all the way.
But I'll show that Bouncin' Betty artwork as well as the photo too of the figure. Now the other thing I was going to tell you about that is when Jeff sent me I knew that our artwork, she has a midriff, and she has the open, a little more chest exposed. So I said, Jeff, can you kind of make me maybe a cami to go along with it cover, because we've got some dealers that might be in Texas that may not want to do it. And he said, yeah, I'll do that. So I got the artwork back, and it said Camicel, because he's very, very, proper. And I clicked on it, and of course it popped in and popped out. Then the next thing said spectacle, and I went, I'm in my office at the work, and I'm looking around going, what kind of spectacle am I about to see here? Am I going to get a full frontal here? You know,
Yeah.
I click on it, and Ashley's glasses go boop. They pop up. So it's the spectacles. So that's
you should get one of those pins made.
Of which one?
When you turn it over, the camera still comes off. When you turn it back on.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. The old school 1970s.
People, if you're a Gen Xer and watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
And the glasses too.
Yeah,
the glasses when
because your dad had one,
or your uncle had
and you
one.
ended up getting it. Yeah,
my uncle had it. That's right. All right, so the next one I'm going to do is another custom figure, and this is made for me by a guy named Stronox, and this is a Wild Weasel figure. This is one of my absolute favorite G.I. Joes ever. Absolute favorite G.I. Joes ever. Always loved him. He was the original pilot for the Rattler, and the cool thing about Wild Weasel is that, well, I mean, heck, it was everything cool about him. He had a cool helmet. He had a cool outfit. He had the flight pattern and the maps on his legs. I mean, he was just so cool. Now, this one is a custom by Stronox. But what he did was, and I'd seen something of his work before, and the original Wild Weasel looked like this. Well, if you can see by that, the head is just way too big. I mean, originally, but still, at the time, this was one of the coolest figures out there. And I had actually saved this one. This one had the dry rotted O-ring.
Yep.
And so I replaced it and, went back through and replaced it and fixed it. And my original one had a dry rotted O-ring back in the 80s. So this is like the second or third Wild Weasel I've saved from a broken spine.
Now, what did Wild Weasel drive?
He flew the Rattler.
The Rattler. That's right, you told me that.
And which is kind of like they're taking an A10, like an A10 Warhol.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of that. But this was the second Wild Weasel they came out with, which when I first saw it, I thought it was really cool. And what was cool about it was, they did some of the traditional Wild Weasel things. They put his map on there and his flight plan. And the helmet's pretty similar, but this helmet's way too small. Like it's actually the size of a normal.
Yeah, but say if that helmet has any heft to it at all, then his head is
literally
very small.
Yeah, the size of like the 8-ball.
Yep.
Or if the reality is if his helmet if his head was a normal human sized head, the helmet would basically be a foam wrap.
That's the trouble with, if you really look at it, most Darth Vader figures.
That's right. The helmet's too
small.
small.
They make the helmet in proportion to the body
instead of the actual figure.
When you think about it, there's a head in there. That makes the head way too small.
That's right. Yeah. Right. Now Anakin's was the first one, or Hayden Christensen's was the first one. They did the mask. It was actually symmetrical. Yeah. Which looks a little thinner as a result.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about what I liked about Stronox, what he did was what he paid attention to. Whereas on the original figure here, he actually did the parts that are black. He made them black. One of the coolest things he did here over the harnesses was he gave them an actual depth and color. But if you notice, he's got the what do you call that thing?
Ascot.
Yeah, he's got the ascot. So I can never remember the name of that thing. So the
original, that's what villains have.
Right?
Ascots.
That's right.
Yes.
So he had the ascot, and he gave him back his ascot, which is really awesome.
Yep.
And as you can see, the original one had the 45 there and the boot knife. This one has the gun that comes out, which, by the way, he actually made that a Walther P99.
Walter. Oh wow!
Yeah, he made that the P99, and then he has the knife on his side. He took a little bit of liberties there, but I do not. Yeah. I don't blame him for that. I think it's awesome.
That's another example of G.I. Joe totally outclassing Cobra with technology.
Every bit of the way.
G.I. Joe had an F-14 Tomcat type jet.
That's right.
And they had the Rattler. Like they went to World War II, Korean War surplus, and we'll take this one.
That's right.
That's what we can afford right now.
That's right. But here's the thing, though. You're forgetting about one thing. G.I. Joe. Cobra also had the Night Raven, which was stealth. It was the SR-70. It was the SR-71 with the drone in the back. So they had him outgunned there. But in the cool factor, Cobra had it. Cobra had the
yeah.
Cobra had
the Cobra stuff was much. Oh, is that the Rattler right over there?
That is the Rattler right over there.
Okay.
And if you'll notice, I'll throw one up on the screen too, and I'll maybe show one holding it. The cool thing about the Rattler was its playability. You could grab the rear of that fuselage and fly around all day, man. That thing was absolutely awesome. It was the coolest plane.
Yeah, because the G.I. Joe jet was so big.
It was massive. Yeah. And it wasn't as big as that F-16 I've got over there. That F-18 Hornet.
Well, no, that's really
massive.
Different.
But it was still big, and the wings came out. It was harder to play with. The Rattler you could play with all day long. It was awesome. Yeah. So my pick for show and tell today is the custom Wild Weasel. And what did you do? Oh, you put Bouncing Betty in there. Oh, that's okay. I think she looks good in there. She's riding.
She's driving over.
She's driving.
Bouncing Betty's drunk. She took the mobile transport
from the
vehicle.
Empire.
Yeah, the multi-train vehicle for a joyride.
And he's like, "Hey, baby, can I take you home?" Yeah, that's right. So Bouncing
like,
Betty,
back.
the custom Wild Weasel, the original Wild Weasel, and of course the remake Wild Weasel.
Yes.
So that's my.
Those are good.
I like them. Yeah. And you notice they both did a good job of hiding the midriff. So
yeah, having the
original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You keep talking while I.
All right. So that is show and tell for this week.
Show and tell.
Show and tell. All right.
We have shown and told.
We have shown and told. I like it. And now y'all know what time it is.
It's time for the Box O Mystery.
Now it is time for the Box O Mystery.
He's got some Rob Liefeld type pouches on here too.
Okay, he does have some Liefeld patches. All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right, I'm excited about this.
All right. Come here, Betty.
All right, we're
Back over here.
gonna clear off the new table area, if you will. I'm excited about the Box of Mystery this week. I'm really excited because I actually bought something too.
Oh.
And I normally don't buy. I mentioned in the first episode when it gets close to Halloween, and you noticed, of course, the Halloween decorations up in my house. They have been since last week. But every year around Halloween time, I love buying a Halloween action figure. And this one is going to be this year's entry because I don't really have another action figure that fits the bill. And again,
entry for what? For when we're doing
for my Halloween.
Oh,
entry.
for Halloween.
No, this is just my purchase this year. It won't be my Halloween entry. It'll be my purchase this year.
Okay.
So this year, what I did was I went ahead and picked up something kind of cool. I'm going to open them if I can. But I have two things.
Oh,
two things in here. So before I show you
two things for episode
the
3.
figure, I have actually something in the box of mystery for Rob.
Oh.
Ooh. And you know what it is?
Ooh, a lid. Well, you know what? This is really, really nice. But if you'll notice, I'm drinking straight out of a plastic bottle.
He brought the bottle today.
No.
I brought my GenX Vault.
I had to. You know why?
Because they finally took it
Because I
down.
have no idea where my GenX Vault cup is. My guesses are it's either in Melinda's car or at her office or it's in Abby's book bag.
Okay. I have been to your house multiple times. Yes. And many times late at night.
Yes.
You have more than one cup. Do they just like stealing your stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so basically
that's what my collection is, upstairs behind a locked door.
That's right. And what's yours is theirs, and what's theirs is theirs.
Yes.
It's kind of how that works.
Melinda used to threaten me that if I ever cheated on her, she was going to take half my comic books. The top half.
Ooh.
She's funny that way. Until I told her how much they were worth, and she was like, okay.
No, then we won't do it. Okay,
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. All right.
Potentially worth.
Potentially worth. That's right. If the collecting market stays with
it's only worth what someone will pay.
That's right. All right. So this year.
Okay.
This week.
Thank you for the lid.
You're welcome.
Abby will appreciate it.
I gave Rob's child a lid.
Yes.
All right. So this week, this is my box of mystery.
Box of mystery.
And I have not done I haven't played the game that it represents. You got a phone call?
I did.
Oh, you got to tell her to
Abby
wait.
wanting to FaceTime with me.
You got to tell her to wait. You're going to wait that.
Okay. Excuse me, Internet. I'm becoming famous here. I don't have time to talk.
We got like tens and tens of views. You got to let us go.
Yeah.
I understand how cute the dog was.
Yeah, he is cute.
In the middle of our filming, child.
Okay.
We're on set.
Bigger names on the other line. Gotta go. Love you. Okay.
Trying to steal your thunder. Steals your mug, then your thunder.
Can't stand it.
Steals your mug, then your thunder.
Yep.
Got a compliment. I think Ryan Kelly, our bass player, wrote today. Hey, said, "Hey, you're doing a Gen X thing. That's my vibe. You guys take call-ins." And he knew it wasn't live, but he goes, "I think that'd be cool anyway." I was like, "I think that'd be cool too." So
yeah. Tell you what, out there, Internet, if you can guess when we're filming and get our numbers, we will put you on the air.
We'll take your call.
Yes.
That's right. All right. Ready?
Ready.
All right. Here we go. Box of mystery. It's another McFarlane figure.
Ooh, McFarlane.
Look at that.
A Mortal Kombat?
I know. And here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
You bought this or you've had it?
I just bought it.
Okay. Where'd you buy it?
Well, see, now don't you want to know because it looks awesome. See,
I'm good. I just want
to no, you're not good. You're right now. I want you to look at Rob's face. That has hate, anger, and it's seething with just drives him crazy. So, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. What people normally wouldn't do. I don't care about boxes. I ain't care about them boxes. Right. I know if you're a box guy, you're like no, but I don't care about the boxes. And I didn't bring my knife with me.
See,
so.
these boxes don't compare to these boxes.
No, they don't. That's classic. So, all right. So I'm gonna open this thing. So what it is?
Okay.
It's the Mortal Kombat spawn.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you why I did this. Oh, it comes with a stand. All right. I'll get that in a minute. It's a Mortal
Here, I'll work on your stand.
You work on
You
the stand.
get the
Thank you.
figure out.
Mortal Kombat spawn. That's right. Mortal Kombat spawn. And it's got little rubber bands. Like it's got the cape through the thing.
So you should have a pair of snips. Call back to last episode.
This is. How do you even pack that? How does that even work, Rob?
I don't know.
I don't even know if I can get that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Get that out. All right. So I'm gonna see if I can figure this out. I'm making all kind of noise here. I'm crackety cracking. Sorry about that. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Not going well.
not going well at all. But
You got to pull his cape up through it.
That's what I thought. I mean, it's gonna scratch it, but that ain't even. That's not even right. Why would you do
scissors.
that? My scissors?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, well, look at him.
It's still
He's got
connected.
Oh, God, I'm tearing him apart here.
Wow.
All right, hold on a second. All right, I'm sorry. What's his name?
You can tell which one of us has plenty of money.
All right, let's see. No, I just didn't know it was connected.
Hold on.
Rob.
I got a knife.
You got a knife. All right, Rob has a knife. I didn't bring
It's a
one.
very dull knife. Because
Well, if it can cut plastic like that. You got this, man? All right, ready? Don't cut me.
I got to take my glasses
Don't cut
off
me.
so I can see.
Don't cut me. There you go. Oh, now that makes it much easier.
Much easier.
I didn't realize that. Now,
Okay.
I'll tell you about this. Are you kidding me?
Here.
Wait.
You talk about the figure. I'll
Can
get
you-
that out.
I got it. Okay.
Wow.
All right. So, there we go. I got the Mortal Kombat Spawn action
So
figure.
is this the one that just appeared in the game?
Okay, yeah.
or-
This is the version. I'm going to show the internet this. Hold on a second. This is the version that appears in Mortal Kombat. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't play Mortal Kombat. I hadn't played it since like the 90s. All of us were in college, and I played it. We played it on Super Nintendo at the house. But I did not. I haven't played Mortal Kombat since. I'm a Zelda guy, and a few more modern games. All right, so this thing is sweet.
Yep.
And let's see.
Got them McFarlane pouches though.
Yeah, he does.
What does Spawn need pouches for?
What does Spawn?
What is he reloading?
Does he have a gun?
I don't think so. I think he is the
How
gun.
does his? I don't know if his ankle is right or not.
And where's his other shoe? Is that his foot?
That is his foot. It's kind of a small little foot there. I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's that. Now I'm gonna show you this real quick. It came with 3 weapon options. The mace was one, a battle axe was another, and the a sword was another. I chose the mace actually because I thought
there were 3 versions of the
3 versions
figure?
of this figure. Yeah,
I
I'm
like
not.
the mace.
And
Is that like a little Spawn head on top of it?
it looks like one. Looks like one to me with little green eyes. So I can't do this, and I know I got to be careful with McFarlane figures. There you go. All right, so there you go.
Okay.
So now he's got his little mace.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah. All right.
That's like a mace that the Batman Who Laughs would have.
It does. Yeah, I thought about that when I saw the thing last week. But anyway, so the reason why I chose this, the reason why I picked this up is because, look at it. That's pretty freaking Halloween right there.
So we should have action figure deathmatch: the Batman Who Laughs versus Mortal Kombat Spawn.
He's got spikes, man. And I think technically speaking, will he be a little bit taller than that Batman?
I could not begin to answer that. I know Bruce Wayne is a tall fellow.
Yeah. And I don't know how big Spawn is, but I know this guy's jacked.
Yep.
He's totally ripped. And again, I don't normally like that. Al Simmons. I don't normally like that, but honestly, from that angle,
that hides pretty well.
It does.
What I truly dislike is when it has the obvious square.
Oh God, that's the worst.
in there.
That is the worst.
Yep.
I still can't. I'm not going to pose his body in that movement position. But so my pick this week or the box of mystery that is
Mortal Kombat.
the
Spawn.
Mortal Kombat Spawn, which I think is
figure.
freaking awesome. I think so too.
Yep.
And I don't own, believe it or not, I don't own traditional Spawn figures. This is the only one I own. The rest, I have the manga Spawn, I have the Raven Spawn, but this is the most traditional Spawn I have with the cape and all that. I don't have another one with Spawn. So.
I've never had any Spawn figures.
But you've had plenty.
I've got the original Spawn comic book.
You've had plenty of McFarlane toys.
Yeah, I've got a few of those. Yeah.
I got to figure out that ankle. Look at that weird ankle twist there.
Yeah.
That's got a weird. Anyway, I can't stand that weird jointed ankle either because of weird stuff like this.
Yep.
But it looks like it twists, so I'll have to figure that out. Yeah, I think I can work that in. But anyway, so
Good looking figure.
that was this week's Box O Mystery.
That's it.
All right. Now, before we go into our next session, which will be Ask the Magic 8 Ball.
That's the magic.
I had one of our viewers wrote in, and it was Tracy Estes, who did purchase the GenX Vault mug, and as well as the GenX Vault T-shirt. So the T-shirts came in,
Which is a collector's item because outside of us,
it's getting
one
stolen.
person has one.
That's right, it's getting stolen.
Yes.
So please go to GenXVault.com and pick you up a mug and a T-shirt. The T-shirt blanks came in yesterday, and I'm actually going to screen print them this weekend. So I will ship it out to you next week, Tracy. So and whoever else orders one, I'm going to go ahead and make a few. So let you guys know before we get to that. Tracy had asked the guy that purchased the GenX Vault mug and the T-shirt. He said, "Hey, can you send us a link and we share our own collections?"
Oh yes,
and I think that's a great idea. I think it's a great because we'd like to show your collection. So yes, you can.
I like looking at other people's collections.
Oh yeah, I do too. I like seeing what other people have, and
I like seeing how they arrange things.
how that you like the arrangement of it. I like that.
And sometimes, I don't know. It's interesting to me. And sometimes I'm like, oh, that's a good way to do that. And,
you like the dioramas. I like it because sometimes I see figures that I never knew that were out there, and like, oh, that's kind of, I wouldn't collect that, but oh, that's cool that, and I see why this person did.
Yep.
Okay, so we just need an email address to send it to. So why don't you pick one? Like it could be something at genxvault.com. Show me your booty at genxvault.com.
That would probably work.
Show me your booty. No, we better not. We better not do that.
No,
we will get pictures that we don't want. How about
ask? Ask Rob and Chris is too long.
That's pretty long.
Ask Chris and Rob is too long too.
It's the same link, I think, just in different order.
Let's see. How about Ask GenX at genxvault.com?
Or how about Ask GenX? Or you could be collection at genx.com. Okay, Ask GenX. Ask GenX.
I think keep it as simple as possible.
Collecting at genx.com. Collection, or what's the easy? Ask GenX.
How about just GenX at genx.com?
Okay, so our new web address, our new email
brainstormed.
Address. We had a business meeting right now.
Yes,
that's right.
Back to the show.
And what do we say? Ask GenX.
I think Ask GenX.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that works. Ask GenX.
At
That's
GenX.
hard to say. Ask GenX at GenX.
Well, then maybe we should get something easier to say. That's a long. I tell you what we'll do. By the time we figure it out, I'm going to throw up a graphic right here. Here's where you need to send the email to.
Hey, we'll go ahead and do the pantomime. Okay.
We should do that together. Let's do it together.
Okay.
So here's where you send the email to. That works. I like it.
I like it.
We'll keep that one.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Let's see. It's time to ask the Magic 8 Ball.
Ask the Magic 8 Ball.
All right. I think you went first last time, right?
Yep. It's your turn.
Okay. It's my turn. So notice I'm not going to shape the Magic 8 Ball. The rules of the house are you just flip it. Because it's a icosagon, I think we said, inside this thing. Icosagon. All right.
For you Dungeons & Dragons player, a 20-sided die.
And we usually pick something that's show theme related.
D20, I think they call
D20?
it. D20.
We usually pick something that's show related. And this one I have a show related question. And my question is, Magic 8 Ball, will human beings ever stop being stupid and actually understand that there is a scientific method and that much like math and physics, just because they can't understand it doesn't mean it's not very real. Okay? Because I think that like that Flat Earth Society, I think it was started by everybody always had that guy in your ninth grade science class that he was in the 11th grade.
Yeah.
And it wasn't his first time in that class. Yeah. And let's just say his name was Kevin.
He was driving to middle school.
He had a full beard.
Yep.
And you were like, hey man, when did you grow that beard? He's like, I'll grow it last year. His voice dropped way before everybody else's.
That's true.
And and all of a sudden you're like in ninth grade class and he's just staring at the teacher with one mouth open, that kind of thing. Or he only got one mouth. Maybe Kevin had two. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to ask, will people ever stop being stupid and believing in flat Earth, Magic 8 Ball? Will they?
I know the answer.
All right. It says, cannot predict now. Rob knows the answer. I'm afraid you were probably correct in that one.
Okay. This is a question for the Magic 8 Ball of how well it knows me. Magic 8 Ball, have I ever paid way too much for something I didn't really want on eBay just to keep that guy who outbid me from getting it?
You've already proven that. But let's see if you know him, Magic 8 Ball. It froze in the middle.
It is decidedly so.
Oh, yeah. Magic 8 Ball was listening.
And I'm sad to say I can think of 2 times I've done that. That's why I mostly stay away from eBay.
Have you ever bid against me?
No. I don't think. But that's why I mostly stay away from eBay because I get way competitive. And when someone outbids me, it makes me mad.
Okay.
And
Now, I will say this. Rob and I may have not ever bid it, but just in the last year, has he started sharing when other things are available for sale if he thinks I might want something. So used to it was like, nah, man, I'll just get this. And I'll tell Chris 3 months later when it's off the shelves. And the peg warmers are even gone. So no, you actually were good about that back in the old day too. So that's good. We do good. All right. So for the GenX Vault, I am Chris Mitchell.
I'm Rob Cannady.
And we will see you next time on the GenX Vault.
Bye-bye.